Hello there, my name is Linda Jo Martin, the Book Lady, and this is my weekly writing video. This week I've continually been thinking about that tip that I read from Jack Kerouac, the list of 30 tips. It's in this book. It's also, by the way, all over the internet. If you want to know what all the tips are at one time, you're welcome to just go Google it and find out, because it's there. But it's also reprinted in this book that I use. And I've been reading one tip each week, and this last week I read number 6 on the list, which is Be Crazy Dumbsaint of the Mind, and I just could not get that out of my mind. It turned out to be very meaningful to me, and I want to read to you what I wrote in my journal about it. It says, be crazy dumbsaint of the mind, and I want to be and practice that this week, which says to me I should let the writing flow into unplanned and unexpected channels to do whatever I dream up with words, to be unconstrained by writing formalities, to allow the crazy, zany, bizarre ideas to surface on the page, to be unconcerned about the format and more accepting of the flow of ideas, to dig deep, to allow my creativity full reign, to ignore conventions and celebrate wildness in writing. I can practice here in my journal, or my page catcher, intrinsic writing platform, or whatever my primal mind wants to call it, to write more with spontaneity than with intellect, to allow that part of me, the hidden, playful, word-loving person, to express words on a page, to string thoughts together into the improbable and laughable, to refuse self-conscious reflection, and to put my hidden ridiculousness on a page to go with that flow of inner ideas that aren't carefully put together and crafted for intellectual understanding. It all depends on who and what you're writing for. If for people with a creative bent, write creative. If for your boss or English professor, better to at least try to make sense. If for loosening my creative muscles to expand my writing mind and abilities, be crazy dumb saint of the mind, and let ideas roll out without censoring them first. Write allegorical, mind-numbing thesis of mud or window sprint, and let people, readers, either imagine what you might be talking about or toss off your book in disgust and don't care anything for any of that except to get it all out there, all the burden of your heart. This could be what I've been waiting for before writing the memoir that I have in me. This year could be the time of training with Jack Kerouac tips to guide and train me into a new kind of looser, more artistic writing than I was doing before. Not to copy Kerouac's style, but to learn from a master writer and further develop my own style and voice into what it can become. Loosen things in me that have been stiff and unusable, and write from a new, deeper, expanded and expandable perspective, allowing for more flexibility and comprehension of my characters and subject matter. I'm ready to dive deep, to be more than I've ever been, especially in the realm of writer expression. I believe in the process and will practice all this week long, exercising and internalizing and showing forth a new skill, a blessing, a talent, a possibility, full of possibilities, wild, deep, abandoned, skillful mindsets of wild abandon, freeing that deep thought consciousness that has lurked within me throughout a lifetime. This is a breakthrough. And then at the end I wrote, what does crazy dumb saint of the mind mean? It means releasing oneself from self-consciousness to allow subconsciousness to emerge on the page. So, really got a lot out of that tip. Hope you followed all that, but if you didn't, well, at least I tried. Now, part 2 of the video, this is my writing video, so part 2 is going to be to choose a story from my notebook that I'm writing. The notebook has a lot of stories in it. I'm writing flash fiction stories this year, for those who don't know yet. Okay, I have all my numbers here. Each number corresponds to a story that I have written in this notebook, and so I will draw a number and then I will read a story that corresponds with the number. So randomly drawing a number, so I don't know which story I'm going to read yet. Story number 4. Story number 4. When was that? That was a while back. The prompt for this story is Walls the Color of Tears. The prompts come out of this book, A Writer's Book of Days by Judy Reeves. And I titled this little story, I Paint. It's very short, it's flash fiction. I would say this is about 250 words. Just guessing. I reach up to paint over the sunshine colors. Today I'll try iridescent silver and blue with a touch of sea green, reproducing clarity and the color of tears. The paint shines white and silvery like the wings of God's angels. Yesterday I tried colors I remembered from the Arizona desert, orange, gold, and dark red with a touch of yellow. I thought I did a masterful job, but no good came of it. I paint over this wall every day. I paint all the walls of this room every day. I never run out of paint. There seems to be an endless supply of my favorite stuff, paint. Paint covers things, and that's my calling. I cover things up. When I lived on Earth, I covered things up for rich politicians, movie stars, authors, anyone with a need for the past to be buried. There was never an end to the supply of people needing my very specialized services. But now I live in this room, and the only thing I can cover up is the paint job I did yesterday. Maybe tomorrow I'll paint jungle colors. I've done that before. I like green. But for today, for now, I paint the color of tears. This room has no ceiling. I can see up all the way to heaven, and I often see angels flying to and fro, back and forth, but I've never seen the Lord since the day I got here, and I couldn't really see him then because my eyes were blinded when I stood before him. So every day I paint my room, a different set of colors, sometimes with patterns or pictures I remember from my time on Earth. I don't have to paint around doors or windows because there aren't any. No way to get in or out. I always hope the Lord will come down here to look at my completed paint job. I think someday I'll paint so well the Lord will know and want to see, and maybe even rescue me from this lonely, solitary room. But so far that has never happened. A man can dream, can't he? Meanwhile, I paint. Just looking at the prompt again, it was Walls the Color of Tears. And I wrote that one in January. So, the last part of the video is to read the next Jack Kerouac prompt out of this book. What could it be? I haven't read it yet, so this is totally unrehearsed. Let's see. Tip number 7. Blow as deep as you want to blow. I always try to say a little something about each tip. What could this mean? Blow as deep as you want to blow. I'm thinking thinking of something being hidden inside powder, and if you blow the powder away, then the thing that's hidden is going to be exposed. And applied to writing, that would be to blow away the unimportant parts of your story so that you can reach and uncover the important parts, the deep down parts, the really intrinsic parts that mean something to the story, and that will actually be something that your readers can identify with. Going back to last week's prompt again, it probably means something different to everybody, but to me it means doing away with self-consciousness so that subconsciousness can emerge. And this one, blow as deep as you want to blow, means that you're reaching your subconscious. You're digging deep into what your writing really means. So I have a lot to learn from Jack Kerouac, and in fact I've decided to do a study of his life and learn more about him, because I never really have, and I'm going to be reading on the road for a few weeks, so I think I can learn something from him. And the reason that I'm doing these tips probably is not so much to teach you anything, my faithful video watchers, but it's maybe to teach me something. I am going to learn from Jack Kerouac this year while I'm writing my flash fiction, and I'm pretty excited about that. Well, I hope you're getting something out of it too. This may have been a kind of weird video, but oh well, I tried. I come in here every week and do a writing video, and I think it's a great habit to get into, and hopefully throughout this year, new and wonderful things will happen. So thank you so much for coming in and listening, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.